Understanding what's causing your self-sabotaging behavior. The English word sabotage has French origins. In the late 18th century, French laborers demanding better working conditions would make noise by beating their wooden shoes together. They would also throw these shoes, called sabots, into machinery to stop production as a form of protest. A saboteur was someone who made noises with sabots. It wasn't until 1897 that Émile Pouget, a famous French anarchist of the time, wrote about the action des saboteurs un travail, or the action of sabotaging or bungling work. The word sabotage these days is linked to those early definitions of its roots by referring to a deliberate action to cause disruption, obstruction, or destruction. That means that self-sabotage is us getting in our own way. We consciously or unconsciously keep ourselves from achieving a goal. This destructive behavior can affect any area of a person's life and is difficult to stop without a plan proven to keep you on your path to success. Understand, stop, act differently. Think about times when you did something that acted against your best interests. These were times when whatever you did caused some of the following feelings: anger, emptiness, frustration, stress, loneliness, rejection, humiliation, self-doubt, pessimism, failure, guilt, shame. We all experience these emotions at one time or another. When you consistently find these feelings arising because of something you've done, and you continue to do things that create these feelings, you might be working on a set of marching orders you gave yourself as a child. Self-sabotage is most often caused because of unresolved psychological and emotional issues. Psychiatrists tell us what influences our behaviors as adults is our upbringing. You could have encountered some situation where you were a young child that's still subconsciously making you react in certain ways. Knowing this is good. If you know a process which is leading to a negative result, you can destruct the process and get a positive outcome instead. Here's what to do. Understand that negative programming is at work. When you catch yourself about to do something, and it's a behavior which has caused negative feelings and problems in your life, have a conversation. Remind yourself that some past issues may be causing you to believe that you deserve a negative consequence. That's what's at work much of the time when we do things that sabotage our lives. Once you understand that this is a negative process at work in your life, have the power to make a different choice. Start looking for situations where your unconscious knee-jerk reaction or conscious decision might be leading you to a negative outcome. Understand that you control your choices and that there are healthier options you can consciously choose. Stop. Once you understand a self-sabotaging process might be at work, stop. Take some time to consider all your potential choices and their potential outcomes. If you can, walk away from making the choice right away. Look at your past. If you've been faced with similar situations, what decision did you make and what were the results? Instead of acting quickly and instinctively, which is sometimes not the best thing to do, stop and take some time to back away from taking action. Act differently. Here's where you have to be strong. You're going to be resisting very strong impulses. The first few times you do this, it's going to be very uncomfortable. You've lived with certain instincts for so long and given into them, and now you're going to have to fight them. Be proud of yourself. You've made a conscious decision to understand what's going on. You know that you could instinctively be making some bad decisions. You stopped and backed away from the process, giving yourself time to think about multiple decisions and their outcomes. Now you have a chance to act differently than you used to. Remember, if you want to enjoy something different than what you had in the past, you're going to have to do different things than you've been doing. This is the power of acting differently from your instinctive influences that for whatever reason are trying to hold you down or create a negative outcome. Practice makes perfect. Changing decades of behavior is not going to happen overnight. The more you go through the process, the better you'll become. You'll start identifying self-sabotaging thoughts and instincts and stopping yourself before you act upon them. You should understand that making a decision that will lead to a better result can feel very uncomfortable. That's okay. This is a sign that you're trying to change emotional or psychological hardwiring that's been going on for a long time. Practice makes perfect. Keep at it. The fact that you want to stop self-sabotaging behavior means you have the mental and emotional resolve to do exactly that. Embracing the victim role is sabotaging your potential. Self-victimization and self-sabotage have more in common other than just the first 4 letters of those words. People that play the victim role knowingly or unconsciously create problems for themselves. This leads to failure or a justification for not taking action in the future. Here's what the process looks like sometimes. The things that happen to us in our childhood affect us as adults. We may not openly think of a childhood experience and use it as reference for making adult decisions. Even so, this happens automatically and without conscious thought in our adult lives. Sometimes dramatic events in our childhood cause us to embrace negativity. It may simply be the environment we grew up in that leads us to believe we don't deserve love, financial stability, health and wellness, or some other positive life experience. When we pursue some type of significant goal or try to turn one of our lifelong dreams into reality, we don't truly believe it's possible. On the surface, we may say we can do anything. For the first time in our lives, we're really going to create something great. But deep down inside, because of some psychological or emotional programming that's been around since our childhood, we sabotage our own efforts. This leads to failure. Then we consciously play the victim role. We say, "See, I'm not supposed to succeed. I can never have good things in my life." This negative justification becomes cyclical. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. We make conscious or unconscious efforts to sabotage our efforts when we try to achieve an important goal. So we fail. Then we justify the failure by saying it's all we deserve. We begin to expect it in the future, and we once again sabotage our potential for success by embracing the victim role. Amnesia can stop your self-victimization and allow you to achieve your potential. We're talking about active amnesia. You need to tell yourself you're starting from scratch today. This is because playing the victim role has been programmed into your chemistry. It's been around for decades, and because it's been so frequently reinforced by your actions and the results those actions produced, it can be difficult to overcome. But you can do exactly that. Keep an eye on the things you do. When you're working towards some goal, be aware. If you begin to take some action that looks like it's going to keep you from succeeding, develop amnesia. Forget your past programming that says you're a victim that can't succeed. Forget about any previous situations where you tried to create a great reality and failed. Tell yourself you're going to start over with no mental programming dictating the outcome. This might not develop the intended result overnight. Over time, though, you can program yourself to stop embracing the victim role and to stop the self-sabotage that's keeping you from achieving your goals. Write out your plan if you're tired of getting in your own way. Psychological programming, subconscious emotional influences, a fear of failure. There are many reasons we sometimes keep ourselves from succeeding. It's almost never intentional. How many people you know wake up in the morning and say, "I'm going to fight against success today. I will purposefully find some way to fail when I'm on my way to success and positive change. I'm going to choose frustration, self-loathing, and other negative emotions and outcomes over fulfillment, happiness, self-pride, and success regarding all the important things I'm trying to create or experience." That never happens. Since we frequently fall short of our big goals and dreams, and we don't intentionally go out of our way to make this happen, what can we do about it? In some cases, your self-sabotage can be avoided if you do something simple. Write out your goals and the plans you have to achieve them. Conscious sensory engagement can override subconscious influences. What do you want? Human beings are always trying to improve themselves. It's one of the wonderful aspects of being human. We always want more. So what is it that you want out of life? Do you want more money, healthier relationships, better health, or to achieve some other personal goal? If there's something missing from your life, why haven't you made it a reality yet? You probably understand that we often fall short of our dreams, and this sometimes happens because of self-sabotage. We hinder our best efforts because of deep-seated emotional or psychological reasons. One way to overcome those powerful but negative influences is to be specific about your goals and what you're going to do to make them happen. Then write these things down. There is a power behind writing. You can check the internet for countless studies that show you get more accomplished when you write out what you want. What this does is engage your senses. Your sense of touch and sense of sight are involved when you write down your goals and your game plans to achieve them. As you do this, speak what you're writing out loud. Really engage your imagination. Then keep this information on you at all times. The next time you see yourself about to act in a way that's going to slow down or defeat you on your way to some achievement, pull out your goals, read them. Read the game plans you have in place to make them happen. Refer to this information often. Just go step by step and follow your plan. Don't let emotions or what-if thoughts dictate your actions. Turn off your feelings and just keep following your written game plan. This is a powerful but simple way to overcome internal programming that might be keeping you from realizing your goals. You stick to the script you created and give yourself a better chance at succeeding than if you let your emotions and negative self-talk lead your actions. You can beat self-sabotage with self-awareness. Is there some aspect of your life where you seem to have a blind spot? You catch yourself continually doing something that causes negative results. After you've endured failure or some negative emotion yet again, you promise yourself it won't happen again in the future. Then what happens? You find yourself back in the same situation. You're far from a person who is out of control. You are a rational person. The majority of your life is under control, and many of the people who care about you often remark they're jealous of your many positive character traits. So why is it so hard for you to create a positive outcome in a particular area of your life? It isn't that you're lazy or you don't have a really strong desire to create change. It's not that you haven't put in the time or the effort either. Many times, if you continue to underperform in some aspect of your life, it's because you're holding yourself back. There are many reasons for self-sabotage. Some people sabotage their own efforts because of a fear of failure. They stop trying when they're close to success because they're afraid if they fail, they won't be able to get past that failure emotionally, so they stop trying. Self-sabotage also happens because of psychological or emotional programming. Something happened previously in your life that's subconsciously leading to negative habits and actions. You may consciously desire to achieve something, but your efforts, no matter how hard you try, are sabotaged by negative mental programming. Sometimes we get in the way of our best efforts because success might mean leaving our friends and loved ones behind. We may create such a great reality that the people we care about have no place in our new life. That can be a scary future to think about. Self-awareness takes honesty, and that can make you uncomfortable. We move through much of our lives in a zombie-like state. Modern life is busy, hectic, and full of distractions. You might not think you have enough time to reflect deeply about who you are and the things you do. It's important when you're working towards some goal for you to be aware of everything. You might not be able to stop your actions beforehand. In this case, ask yourself what it was you did that kept you from being successful. Do you notice patterns that continue to create negative experiences in your life? Do you ever have thoughts of not being good enough? After you embrace positive emotions and get really motivated to make some big change, what is it that slows you down? Why don't you keep moving forward with those powerful, positive feelings? When you take action to create something positive in your life, be honest with yourself. What is your thought process? Are you trying to sabotage your results before you even get started? If you notice some negative programming at work, remind yourself that you have the power to embrace any set of beliefs. Choose to believe you can succeed and continue to operate with that idea firmly in your mind. Over time, this self-awareness can help you identify self-sabotaging beliefs and actions that are keeping you from goal achievement. This can take time, but it's worth the work. It gives you power over unconscious mental programming and allows you to choose a success mindset instead.